Dinosaur Man. Hello, and welcome to the Dinosaur Man podcast. I'm Andy Hughes. I'm here with Alex Hudson.
Let's get ready to rumble. I know it's from boxing, but this is sports related.
Hey, put a quarter in that Jock Jams jukebox. It's
insufficient funds.
Oh no.
Inflation means it costs $1.
I don't have $1.
What song were you going to play?
Pump up the jam, now pump it up while your feet are stumping.
Do you think they should do a remix that is Pump Up the Jock Jam?
On my iPod, my old iPod that we got working recently, on there I have a song that is like 9 minutes long that is just Jock Jams all put into one.
All combined, smashed together.
Into one, like...
Only the best bits?
Yeah. It was
so not even like the full song?
No, it's just like the best bits, and they kind of mold them all together. And it's mainly because of Space Jam that
You're like a regular little jive bunny.
That was
the one that you used to do, like the medleys.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like
Hold on, what's this?
Do you not remember Jive Bunny?
No.
Yeah, it's not as cold in here as I was hoping. But
I realised it's very
it's still
warm,
coolish.
Like, as soon as...
Okay, look, guys, full disclosure. We're recording this back in the old recording space of dining room because living room is, where we normally record, is swelteringly hot today. It's 27 degrees according to my laptop. And it's just too hot in that room. Came in here thinking, hey, it's cooler. I instantly feel as hot as I was in there.
I felt cool up until the point we started. And
that's the heat of podcasting.
Because we're so fire.
Having these on, also these headphones that I've got on, doesn't help because I get hot in my ears.
What it means by having these on, he means the 4 jackets he's wearing. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I kind of came in here and I was like, I'm going to go full fucking Eskimo.
This is a jacket situation. But guys, this week...
I'm tired already.
You're always tired.
Well, no, because I wasn't tired. I wasn't. Until I walked in here and when I walked in here, it was so cool. It was like walking inside an ice cube.
It was nice to walk in here the first time, but now we've walked into the coolest part of the house. Anywhere from here is just going to be horrible.
Are we the problem?
Yes,
Is it us?
Humanity is the problem.
I mean, we're days away from the day after tomorrow happening, right?
From the day...
Which I guess is just Tuesday.
Earth becomes just a second sun. But the important news is...
But we didn't get the coldness with it. They told me that New York would, it's frozen in the movie. Remember the dogs?
I do.
Remember how the Statue of Liberty's like, I'm just reaching down to the frozen. That didn't happen.
Should we watch it day after tomorrow?
No, we did that recently, I feel like. In the last 2 years, for sure. In this house, I have watched the day after tomorrow.
No, I haven't.
And I'm going to tell you now, I didn't put that shit on independently of you. I hate the day after tomorrow.
I love it.
Because I'm a climate change denier.
This can't happen.
You know how, I know you're trying to get onto the main thing of the story because you just want to get this over and done with. But you know how there's the plandemic? I don't believe in the plandemic.
Yeah.
I believe in the pandemic, right?
Okay.
Is there what's climate change? Is there a fun joke version of climate change where it's more like blimate change?
Oh, I see.
I don't know if that means
Rather
anything.
than climate change denier, just
Jason Denier, the Belgian centre-back.
Yeah, everyone's a Jason Denier.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Another one for that weird crossover between people who enjoy sports and people who enjoy this podcast.
I got a lot of feedback on that Dickie Barrett joke last week. Everyone liked it.
From me.
People really dug the Boss Tones reference. Okay, fine. Look, let's get on with it. This is hot. Hey, guys.
No, that's staying in.
No, I'm going to clip it. Clip it.
Clip it now. Clip it good.
Clip it real good.
Yeah, it's better than the song I was parodying.
Clip it now. Clip it good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You worked out what that is.
Well, not gross, but good.
That song.
Yeah.
Right? baffled me as a kid. I had no idea what was going on about.
Still baffles me as an adult. What's any of it mean?
What is a neck?
Wait, is that the same song?
What is a back?
Is that the same song?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
But back can be two different things.
Can
so
it?
Mix-a-Lot taught me that.
Baby got back. Right, guys, the thing
Also, back bacon.
the most fire thing about this week is that Space Jam
Is it the most fire thing about this
Yes.
week? Okay.
isn't the heat of the room, but the fact that Space Jam, the 90s kids movie where Michael Jordan played basketball for Looney Tunes, has a sequel called Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
We've not seen it yet,
But LeBron James is in it.
and he's playing with the Looney Tunes against
And the Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
And his band of merry men.
Like I said, not seen it yet.
We don't want to know anything about the story. No spoilers, guys. We'll
But-
watch it.
This got us thinking, what if we had to put together our own basketball team? So, what's happened is Danny DeVito's boss alien was like, I failed to get the Looney Tunes and my park is still losing business. So I'm going to create a second team of Monstars. They're basically exactly the same as the first one. And instead, we're going to go get the main attraction of the Dinosaur Man podcast. But I'm going to go for them one at a time. And they come to you and they're like, Alex, I'm going to take you to Moron Mountain. Okay. And you're like, I don't want to go to Moron Mountain.
Yeah.
I want to stay home. And then they're like, oh.
Feels like something I'd do.
And he's like, oh, by the way, apparently, like, according to the rules that Bugs Bunny gave us, we've got to play you at basketball first. That's just the done thing. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. That's in the rules.
And he's like, so it's you versus my Monstars?
Uh-huh.
Suddenly you're like, oh no, I can't play basketball.
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to, though.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to take 5 people to play basketball with you.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel ready for that?
I'm ready for the draft. I was going to do this in a draft style where we both just alternate our picks.
Okay. At the same time, like, so he turns around, he talks to you, and initially he swivels his seat and he sat next to you the whole time.
So when you say comes after us one at a time, what you mean is he gets us one at a time into the same room.
Yeah, we're both
and speaks to us one at a time.
We're both in the room. He just swivels his chair and goes, "Oh, Andy, by the way, same deal for you, just in case I can't win." And I go, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "But neither of you can have the same players on the same team." And
sure, you can't do that.
And he's
we might have to play each other in the semis.
He's like, "You can't use your Looney Tunes," and I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
because I feel if you choose the Looney Tunes,
I just chose Bugs Bunny 5 times.
Bugs Bunny dressed as a lady bunny. Bugs Bunny dressed as Alma Foot.
So this is our animated draft.
Mm-hmm.
So, which animated characters are you drafting into your basketball team to save yourself / maybe the world from enslavement to... I don't know.
He's really up the stakes if he's taking the world.
Well, I think the stakes have been upped in the sequel to The World is at Risk.
So we're upping the stakes as well.
You know what? The universe is at stake.
Oh, if we don't win this basketball game.
It means there can't be a sequel because there's nothing they can do that's bigger than this. Okay? So, we're going to be picking 5 characters each from animated media.
Mm-hmm. Or you did say, because I double-checked this, they can be animated characters. They can be CGI characters.
Yeah, but I now feel like I shouldn't have said that because I feel like you're going to be like, the Grand Moff Tarkin guy from Rogue One.
Oh yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin's going to be great at basketball.
He might be, you don't know.
He's very restrained, very
Princess
repressed.
Leia can fly through space. We don't know what Grand Moff Tarkin can do.
Look terrifying.
We only know what Old Man Tarkin can do, which is kill vampires. Peter Cushing, good joke, everyone. And that's it. And I guess blow up a planet.
I've just double-checked and none of the Monstars are vampires.
Pretty big kill count for Tarkin.
Hey, Tarkin's up there the worst.
What was the population of Alderaan when he destroyed it?
4.
4?
Yeah, national holiday.
It was Princess Leia's mum, dad, and, I don't know, 2 siblings.
That guy from The Mandalorian who lost his family there.
Okay.
Maybe Gina Carano. Maybe she lost her family there.
Someone lost their family there?
Yeah.
How is The Mandalorian? Any good?
I really like it. Why are we talking about this, though?
Wasting some time.
We don't have time for that.
People will not like this if this isn't a full episode.
I feel a bit cooler now. I don't know if I've just got used to the heat or...
Yeah? I feel... Yeah.
I also realised I'm wearing shorts that are ostensibly swim shorts.
Yeah.
And I just realised when I move my hands across them, like it sounds like I'm just kind of like rubbing felt.
What?
Like kind of makes like a shh noise.
Uh-huh.
But I realise that my mic might pick that up, so I'm now having to try and be really aware.
Why are you being so self-conscious about the felt thing?
Really aware that I can't touch my shorts.
If I can't hear it in here, they can't hear it in here.
And I can't touch the table because that'll knock the mic.
You can
so
touch the table.
My hands are just
Touch
in
the
no man's
table.
land. No,
I fucking dare you to touch the table. What the fuck are you doing? Don't touch it. Touch your feet. Touch your Velcro. Look, I'm going to rub mine on my mesh shorts, okay? My basketball shorts that I'm wearing in commemoration of this episode.
Yeah, I wore my swim shorts in commemoration.
Listen.
Oh, that's a good sound.
They can't hear a thing. That is more silent than the silence we put at the beginning to clean the audio out.
So, shall we start?
Yeah, we should. I want you to start. I want you to draft first.
Okay.
It's a tactical move by me.
Because it's a draft. Like, I suppose I should put them in some kind of order.
Yeah, who's coming out of the animated colleges and who's really exciting you for your NBA picks?
Okay. I'll go... Because I've got at least one that you definitely will never have.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for one that you potentially could if you thought about it.
It's the way to do.
So I specifically asked for animated characters.
Yeah.
I'm going for Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Like,
I thought about him.
Multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He's fast.
Yeah.
He can trash talk, which I think is very important.
Yeah, basketball's a trash talk sport.
Like, Sonic is definitely one.
I feel like the Monstars don't have the mental capacity to deal with any kind of onslaught.
And the speed that those insults come at you from Sonic. Like, he'll just go boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Baby Deadpool. In like, there's so many jokes. And
I actually cast Baby Deadpool.
Importantly, he can floss.
Yeah.
So his
celebration when he scores a dunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know he's athletic because he loves to run.
I think you're allowed to just run up the pole and stuff as well, so you can
get tired.
You can do whatever you want.
Importantly, in the film, he is shown both playing the ball and the bat thing.
Yeah.
He plays
that in the trailer.
He plays that without missing. He also plays baseball with himself and is able to hit the ball and catch it, which means he's going to have no problem with the hand-eye coordination of being able to run at speed and bounce a basketball.
Yeah.
Which means, athletically, he's probably my GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be able to do it. Yeah. So, he's my first pick. Like, quick, fast.
Good, solid first pick.
I think he could probably just win it me on my own.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of people who could win it on their own, my first pick, the Iron Giant.
I looked at the Iron Giant and I decided against him, but carry on. Tell me your reasons why.
Well, as long as you don't pour Gatorade all over him, he'll be fine. He's not going to rust. So, Iron Giant, big giant metal guy. Mm-hmm. I'll take that on my team. I'm just going to stand him in front of my net.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
He's a point guard. No one's getting past him.
You could go through his legs.
He'll kick you. He's a weapon machine. He's got missiles.
I suppose the benefit is the monster. If our teams going against each other, then I'd be like, well, Sonic can, turn missiles around in midair because he's so fast.
Of course. But also rings are portals.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Sonic has portal rings.
But does that mean that he'll think that the basketball hoops are portals? And he'll keep going through them and going, why have I not gone anywhere different?
As long as he's holding the basketball, I don't care. But like he could throw the rings and like, dive through it and dive like visually. So, the reason I didn't go Iron Giant is because I thought he's too cumbersome.
Yeah, but you don't need everyone to be agile. You can have one player who's an anchor. And if you're going to call anyone an anchor, I'd call the Iron Giant an anchor.
He could.
I just like the idea of having someone who is taller than the stadium.
Yeah. No, it's a good goal. Because I don't think I've got anyone with height in my team, really.
Okay, interesting.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've got no real... I think I'm looking at this, probably the tallest. But Michael Jordan was the tallest.
So, that's important. Okay, who's your second pick for your draft?
Okay, I'm going to go for other ones that you may have that, that would be very good in my team.
I thought about Alita Battle Angel, couldn't really remember what anyone in it did, so I just said no.
Alita is agile.
Yeah.
She's athletic.
She's a rollerblader?
She plays murder ball.
Murder ball.
Yeah, the thing, it is on rollerblades. But that's basically basketball with skates.
Yeah.
We could teach her the rules of basketball really easily.
It's the Airbud rules. He already knew the rules of basketball. And then he had to learn the rules of being a dog.
So he could ski now. But, I figure, like, she will be able to get me possession back. Like, I'm thinking, especially defensively.
Yeah.
Like, I need people who can get me the ball back.
Yeah.
And she's agile enough to be able to kind of get in the front of shots and stuff. Also feel she wouldn't like to be called doll because she's made up of robotic parts.
Just like Lola Bunny.
So, figure there's a lot working for her.
Yeah.
Alita from Alita Battle Angel.
All right. Good pick.
I thought you might have her, but then...
I don't really remember anything about that movie. I completely forgot about the rollerball thing. I just thought she had a samurai sword at one point. Is that true?
She has a sword, yeah. That could come into... There's no rules in this. We see from the second half of Space Jam.
Yeah.
You can just beat each other up.
Yeah, exactly. I chose Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
Nice. Good choice.
Great idea. Because I know that in their version, everyone can stretch themselves. But, like, Michael Jordan didn't have stretchy arms, although...
Have someone who's used to it.
Exactly. And, like, Elastigirl, she's going to mean that I can tie the enemies up in knots. The enemies, the opposition, I guess. Is going to mean that she can retrieve a basketball from our end of the court and score a slam dunk without moving her feet.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's the kind of gameplay I want to be thinking about. How can we score from our own half?
No, it's super smart. Like,
I had a second option as well. And if we come to sort of reserve picks, I'll go through that. But Elastigirl was the sensible choice.
I got one very similar.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's allowed.
No. I mean, this is the one where you said, oh no, because you've already done the CG one in a...
Yeah, this one, but I don't know if it's allowed. Because technically it's a TV character.
Okay. I'm probably okay allowing this.
I searched for films, and I found there was a film coming out in 2022. Then I found out this was on something called Ideas Wiki, which is basically just somebody creating the film, going, oh yeah, this is definitely coming out. And when I saw its cast list was like 90 longer British character actors, I went, this film is not real. And also Shia LaBeouf is in it. I'm going for Mr. Tickle.
Who was Shia LaBeouf playing in the Mr. Men?
The unruly teen who then has to be won round by the Mr. Men. So, for those who aren't aware,
Is Ideas Wiki like a...
It's just like people are putting their own ideas for films on there.
Sounds cool. I might.
It's like ideas.fandom or something.
Okay.
So those who are uninitiated, Mr. Men and Little Miss, were these characters, but they are all just characters with one
defining feature.
So you've got like Mr. Bump, who injures himself a lot. Mr. Strong is strong. Little Miss Sunshine is really happy. Mr. Tickle was a little round blob with really wavy arms. Now, I realise this is a risk because I do not know if Mr. Tickle has...
What kind of coordination has he got going on?
I don't know whether he has control over his appendages.
Yeah.
There's every chance that he is HR's worst nightmare.
I mean, you would like to think that he'll be able to control a basketball with them.
I don't need him to control the basketball. I need him just to defend ours.
Okay. You think he's just going to be shot blocking?
Just like, woo, those arms just
Someone tries to dunk and he just gets his hand in the way and slaps him in the face.
So he's got arms like noodles, basically.
Yeah.
And I'd use him to kind of like wrap people up. Like Elastigirl, just start tickling them. No one can handle a tickle.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was basically, I was like, I need defense. And I was basically, the reason I was like, Elastigirl's a good choice. I was like, that's perfect. If I couldn't have Mr. Tickle, I had another option. Which might even be your reserve option.
It definitely isn't. I'm going to tell you this now.
But if I'm allowed him, then I'm having Mr. Tickle. Also because it's hilarious to have him.
Of course. My third pick, I think, like, while you were saying, like, oh yeah, well, you don't want to have too much solidity. You want to have some agility. That's correct. Which is why my most agile player is Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
Nice. Yeah.
He's going to be slinging webs around that arena.
Which Spider-Man?
I mean, I guess I'll go with Miles Morales.
I would suggest going with Chris Pine's Spider-Man. Because he was basically he was Spider-Man who'd been doing it for many years, was very good at what he did, knew his job. Because you've got Miles Morales, who's only just learning.
Yeah.
He's got like a couple of different powers, like he can do invisible and shock, which I suppose would be useful.
I didn't even think about those. I just thought about webs and jumping.
But and then you've got the other one, which Jake Johnson, who's basically a Spider-Man who's given up. And then you got all the other ones.
My other issue is that Chris Pine is in his mid-40s now. I don't want a player in his mid-40s when I can have young, just out of college Miles Morales or whatever.
Youthful exuberance.
He's going to have the stamina. You seen those Monstars? They're going to run you ragged.
Hold on, how old is Mr. Tickle?
I guess he's just like an ageless blob.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's fine. I mean, Elastigirl's in her mid-40s, but that's fine. She's not actually having to move anywhere. I thought, swinging around, that's going to be helpful. He can spray webs to tie up the opponents. He could probably just spray a web at the ball and dunk it in from wherever he is. Someone tries to hit him, he can just jump to the top of the arena and jump back down and web him up.
No, he's a super smart pick. He was on my reserve list.
Okay. Who's your fourth?
My fourth is... Once again, I don't know if you're going to allow this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
So many that you think might not be allowed.
Ash Ketchum from Pokemon the movie.
Yeah.
So he's got spirit, and I think you need spirit. Yeah. He can do literally anything. Mm-hmm. Like, plot convenience will always make sure that Ash wins. Mm-hmm. Like, that guy turned to stone and still managed to come back to life and win.
Sure.
Like, he made Mewtwo cry. Now, in Smash Brothers, Pokemon are weapons, not fighters.
Yeah.
Therefore, I can give him Pokemon that he can use as like one-time weapons.
Okay.
So I'm going for like his core squad of Pikachu, Bulbasaur. I wrote Squirtle, but it's changed it to Squirrel. Charizard, Pidgeotto, and Butterfree.
All right.
Butterfree he has to release halfway through and makes everyone cry. But like, it's basically just having a guy with like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Because we just use the different Pokemon for when needed.
Yeah.
And then you got the absolute pure spunk of Ash.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
my other choice was to go for Mewtwo, but then I thought the problem with Mewtwo is, we discussed this on our Pokemon episode years and years ago, Mewtwo has no care for humanity.
Yeah, that's too much of a wild card. So he's like, a real Dennis Rodman.
Mewtwo, I need you to save Earth. And he's like, I don't care. It's like, oh, fuck, he's got me there.
It's a waste of a player.
Ash would care a lot.
I agree.
And we all know, if it's the last minute, right, we need 2 points. Ash is just going to get Pikachu to use Thundershock, and somehow that will win the day.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to go with, for my fourth pick, I think this is a genius move.
Okay.
Garfield.
Hold on, what day is this being played on?
Any day apart from a Monday. Okay, so I've chosen Garfield for a couple of reasons. One, I think he's just like a good vibe to have around.
Okay.
Someone who's like, woe is me and all that, but also loves lasagna. Carbo loading before the game, kind of thing that you might do if you're going to burn off a lot of energy.
Yeah, he's not burning that energy off.
Yeah, number two, he looks a bit like a basketball if you roll him up. You could convince them that he's the basketball. None of the shots that are scored with him count. While we've got the real basketball and we're just... And they're just, like, throwing a cat against the floor. And he's just going, ow, ow. Ow.
Did this also come because Bill Murray is in the first Space Jam?
No, it actually... I thought of this before we rewatched Space Jam, and I was like, also the Bill Murray connection's nice, but it's not necessarily... like, because I was actually thinking more to do with the sort of cartoon, the actual animated TV show of Garfield before I was even thinking about the film. But now that you've mentioned it, it's kind of a nice synergy to have. To have Bill Murray making an appearance here. And then, like post-game, everyone will be like, well, we've saved humanity. And then he'd just be like, does anyone have any lasagna?
Good post-match.
It's good.
Also, sassy.
Yeah.
And we've already proven that like you need some trash talk.
Yeah. He's got the trashiest talk. He's just like, did your mother make those kits for you? Oh man, savage. Brutal.
So sassy.
Destroyed the Monstars. So yeah, I'm taking Garfield as a sort of half decoy, half hype man.
I love it.
Who's your final pick?
My final pick, right. So just talked about there that you need some kind of trash talk.
Yeah.
You need people with ability, but also, in the moment I got Sonic, and I think Sonic, while he is able to trash talk, he's also a little bit kind of childish.
Sure.
Alita ain't gonna trash talk.
She's too focused on the game.
Ash definitely isn't.
He's a nice boy.
He's another child. Mr. Tickle, I don't think can talk. So, I went back to who would be the best to really, really get in under the skin of the Monstars, but also has abilities of their own.
Okay.
He comes with a plane. He's chauvinistic as fuck. It's Porco Rosso.
All right.
Tell me he isn't going to pick out the flaws of every single... He's got questionable morals. Like, the Monstars won't know what to do with that guy.
Yeah, he's...
And he can fly his plane because we know that you can use your powers inside the court.
Yeah. He's very much got Michael Jordan's sort of mental state of, like... He will feel personally slighted by anyone.
Yeah, and I believe I can fly will play all the time, which, you know, also is questionable, but it means we win. Like, the literal chauvinistic pig will be on my team.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
He's the one I said, I know you definitely won't have.
Yeah, I mean, I did try and think. I was like, okay, if I was going to have anyone from Ghibli, would I, who would I go for? And I don't even think that Porco Rosso entered my mind at any point.
You're thinking maybe Howl.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, like, potentially I could have done a similar thing with Ponyo, where you use the sort of magical abilities that Ponyo has to, I don't know, somehow confuse the opposition. I don't really think, have a sexist pig.
Hey, sometimes...
a biplane.
When the universe is at stake, you need to bring in the sexist pig.
Weird that it be at stake when he's made out of pork.
Oh.
Okay, everyone didn't like that.
Oh, Porker would have a field day with you. He'd look at you, just take one look at you and be like, I thought I was supposed to be the pig.
My final pick.
Yeah.
And I think there's something important that we've kind of forgotten here, which is why my final pick is this.
Need to be able to play basketball.
Yeah, in the movie, Michael Jordan's on the team,
yeah,
and he's got basketball ability, right? Because, he gives them Mike special stuff, and they can't actually play basketball. They can just be Looney Tunes. Whereas Michael Jordan's just naturally gifted as a professional
and gets
athlete.
most of their points.
So my pick is, and you can have any of them that you choose, any of the Harlem Globetrotters who were in the Scooby-Doo crossover meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
Clever.
They got skills. Sure, they're more of like a skills team than they are an actual like game team. Like, they're there to show off and do sort of Ronaldinho style tricks. But they're still capable basketball players.
Yeah.
None of my picks are. Apart from that. So I'm going to take any of the Harlem Globetrotters who appeared in Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
It's really smart, yeah. I didn't even think... But as soon as you started saying, I was like, who's he going to pick? Like, which basketballers have been in animated form? Or which animated characters have played lots of basketball?
I think it's a genius move.
No.
There was a point where I was thinking my fifth choice might be John Cena as Ferdinand the Bull from Ferdinand. But I couldn't really work out how that would work. So
basically, you saw the bull in Space Jam, but...
It's exactly right. And I saw Ferdinand was an animated movie, and I was like, there's something here.
Like, I think you definitely up your chances by having a Harlem Globetrotter.
I could have just picked all 5 of them. I could have just gone, all the Harlem Globetrotters, come on in.
I suppose, yeah, if you're being smart about it, you can pick any animated.
But I think you need some of the weapons. I think you need some of the less conventional stuff because you're dealing with this cartoony...
You need an Iron Giant.
Yeah, you need an Iron Giant. You need a Sonic the Hedgehog. You need something that's going to be a little bit different.
I'm all wild cards.
You've got a lot of thought put into it
I've
as
got-
well.
I've got athletic
it's a
ability.
balanced team. It just maybe isn't capable of playing basketball.
I think Sonic will know how to play basketball. Like, you see him playing baseball, you see him playing...
I mean, he is wearing sneakers.
Exactly. And Alita will be able to pick it up very easily. Mr. Tickle is a concern because I don't know what he's doing with them arms.
Yeah.
Porco Rosso's got a lot of times...
Porco Rosso, man. Let him do what
He
wants.
is ultimate wildcard. Like, who knows
Yeah.
what he's doing? He's
Yeah.
probably insulting my own players.
No one is guaranteed that is a good pick.
His is a barrage of insults all around the pitch. Court, not pitch.
So, a couple of reserves.
Yeah.
Do you have any you want to go through?
My reserve for Mr. Tickle was going to be Doc Ock
Yeah.
from Into the Spider-Verse.
I also have Doc Ock on my thing. I was like,
Because-
she's able to block everything.
Probably the smarter bit because I think she has more control over her limbs than Mrs. Tickle does.
Definitely.
But it's fun to see an orange blob with noodle arms.
Yeah, it kind of feels more in keeping with the spirit of the game. It's what the original basketballers would have wanted.
The other one, and literally just because I think I've put him in one of these lists every single time I've done it, was going to be Bowser.
Okay, yeah. Bowser's, again, not exactly agile, but at the same time, he can do that thing where he puts his arms and his head inside the thing and he spins around as a thing.
And we've seen him play sports.
Shell.
We know he can play tennis. Mario can play tennis. And he can jump.
I'm sure there must have been a Mario basketball at one point.
Sure. Mario at the Olympics, surely.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo.
Which means Sonic has played basketball.
Or whichever the last Olympic Games was, Beijing.
And there is a Tokyo one now, though, isn't there?
Yeah, I guess so.
But
But that's also got like astronauts and stuff in it.
yeah, Mario can jump.
Yeah.
He says wahoo, so he can celebrate.
Mm-hmm. He's got a good celebration.
Yeah, maybe Mario. You had another one now.
Yeah, so I had Doc Ock as one of my reserves. Another one of my reserves was... Let me just bring it back up here because I've actually forgotten the other one I was going to mention. Oh, yeah, okay, so Zebedee from the Magic Roundabout.
Okay, which one's Zebedee? Is he the
He's
spring?
the guy on the spring, yeah.
Tigger, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, I guess you can have Tigger as well. I just thought, Zebedee's going to get some height on him.
We'll confuse the crowd when they all look at him and go, who is this guy? And you're there going...
Hey, the Europeans will know. The
You're there pointing
Europeans
at him
will
going,
know.
from the Magic Roundabout guy.
They made the American film. It's all fine. And then my last option was, and this is the one that was sort of I went with Elastigirl instead because I felt like there was more control there. Wallace in the wrong trousers. Because I was like, I remember them shooting him up at one point,
Yeah.
but I also remember that they malfunctioned quite a lot. So I felt like that was too much of a wild card to bring in because they will not work the way you want them to.
What about the evil penguin? Although he'll probably turn on humanity.
Yeah, I mean, he's the Mewtwo
Of Wallace and Gromit universe.
I mean, technically, I think he came first, so Mewtwo is the penguin of the...
Pokemon universe.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I think Wallace would have been a good idea in principle, but in practice, I think he's maybe just too unreliable.
And I'm sure there are hundreds of more. But I bet people are screaming and being like, oh, how could you forget so-and-so?
Yeah.
We know there's a lot more, but why don't you tell us who your 5 would be?
Yes.
Like, you're allowed 5 picks, even though it's a 5-man thing and you're one of the people. You're allowed 5 other...
You're the coach. You realise you're shit at basketball. No professional basketballers listen to this podcast, as far as we know.
All of the Harlem Globetrotters do, and they're delighted to be involved.
Now, I suppose the argument could be made that I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant was in an animated movie about basketball that he directed called Why I Love Basketball.
Okay.
And I think it was an animation.
So you could have Kobe.
You could have had Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that would be good.
That's, pretty good.
I mean, there
And LeBron James did a voice in Smallfoot.
is a point in Space
So,
There is a point in Space Jam where Michael Jordan becomes animated in like a this is what's going to happen to you thing. So we could have had that version, although that version is also weighed down by a ball and chain. But why don't you tell us what your 5 picks would be? Do you agree with any of ours? Would you use them? Or do you have 5 completely different options? Tell us on Twitter at DinosaurMan15. We'd love to see what your teams are.
yes.
But yeah, thank you for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Danny DeVito has gone back to Moron Mountain because, how's he going to beat those teams?
I think they're good.
Apparently, like, the Harlem Globetrotters just embarrassed him when he played you, and Porco Rosso just destroyed him his confidence.
As always, Johnny Neves did the theme song.
Yes.
This time it was
a jock jam.
He did it in the style of jock jamming. You can find us on Facebook and on iTunes. Facebook and on Twitter. Twitter at DinosaurMan15. Find us wherever you find podcasts.
Find us on Twitch at Dinosaur Man Pod. We may be doing something interesting with that soon.
I'm going to say this now. This week it depends how hot it is on Wednesday.
Yeah, I suppose. But basically, that Twitch channel, we're going to maybe start doing some more regular stuff on there. But that's Dinosaur Man Pod. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you find them. Like, it does help it being shared and stuff.
You know what? Hit that fucking subscribe notification. Hit the bell.
If you're watching it on YouTube, definitely. But thank you, Alex, for being the host.
Thank you for coming along and hosting as well.
And until next time, guys.
Just hydrate, everyone. Hydrate. It's hot out there. Sticky.
It's a sticky heat.
And it's only going to get hot. It's got 1 degree cooler since we've been in here, apparently.
Good stuff.
That is a lie, because I feel like I can see my sweat. As always, see you next week.
It's just a goodbye.
Bye-bye.